Hey, I'm Rob Adler, and welcome to Understanding Upstate, the podcast dedicated to exploring what makes upstate New York such a unique place. Each week, my co-host Jim Search and I dive into a new upstate topic to better understand what's up upstate. And this week, we're sitting down with rapper, activist, and 6'0 lucky native Theodore. I threw in the script, a little sneak.
Hell yeah.
A little peek behind the scenes. It said 607. I pulled an audible. What the 6'0 lucky,
And I want to say that scored big, Rob.
There we go.
That scored real big for me. I'm here for that. Well, yeah.
I do what I can.
And you do it well. You do it really well. You know what else would be doing well would be if you liked, subscribed, rated, reviewed, did all the things you could possibly do for this show. That's right, folks. Put a 5-star review in Apple Podcasts. Tell us your favorite upstate location or rapper or person in the review, and we will shout you out and even talk about whatever the fuck you want us to talk about. So tell a friend to tell a friend about Understanding Upstate, the greatest upstate New York podcast to ever do it.
I think I was looking this up last month. If you type in upstate into your little podcast search bar, I think we come up third. Pretty good.
Oh, nice.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Not bad. Not too fucking shabby.
And are we the only podcast of the top 3 that are still putting out episodes? Yes. Should we be higher? Probably, but hey, I'm going to take it.
What the fuck, man?
They're like murder podcasts. It's tough to compete with, Jim.
Well, I'm
going
to I do, when I do bits on stage and I talk about upstate New York, I always make sure to say that upstate New York is heavily represented on Dateline NBC. Very represented.
Mm-hmm.
Lot of murder. Of murder happening in upstate New York. So I'm just saying.
I think we have a couple episodes even going to such topics.
Well, when we did our spooky October episodes, and I said, I know real monsters.
That's true.
Real life monsters.
That's true.
Lurking above New York City, baby.
They're not just in the lakes. They're out there. They're out there.
No.
Hey, Jim, speaking of things upstate, we got some upstate updates we got to get to. Straight to it.
Yeah. Didn't waste a breath.
No, I probably should have, because I almost ran out of air there by the end of it. Jim.
Well, yeah.
Let's hear it.
All right. So this upstate update, you'll see where I'm going with this. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you're going to, some folks out there are like, well, how is this an upstate update?
Sure.
You're going to see. So I was on the train with a coworker of mine who had just started, and we were talking and got to know each other. I said, where did you go to school? She said where she went. And then I said, where'd you go to college? And she said, I went to I went to a small liberal arts college in Ohio. And you might be saying, Ohio? Jim? What? Well, I'm here to tell you. I said, tell me what college. She said, oh, this place, Antioch College. And I said, Antioch College? Well, you know who went there? And she said, I do. And I said, Rod Serling. That's right, folks. We ended up in a 45-minute conversation all about Rod Serling, all on the strength of Antioch College, a Ohio connection that brought it home to 67 Bennett Avenue, the home of Rod motherfucking Serling.
I trust your coworker will be going to the next Serling Fest now.
I told her all about it. I said, listen, there's a fest dedicated to Rod. You should pull up for it. And she said, I'll try. And I said, I know that means no. So what I am going to tell you, what I am going to do for you is I'm going to give you a program from Sterling Fest.
There you
So
go.
you'll have that, and you'll be able to relive those moments in time. Rob, that's my Upstate update. But it sounds like you have one as well. What is it?
It's also about Binghamton. I feel like this qualifies as an Upstate update. I was watching. I want to say it's 1998. A movie set in New York City called Rounders. It's Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Matt Damon is a like semi-professional poker player playing in like underground poker games, right? Pretty good movie. It's like a fun New York City movie. And it's Matt Damon and Edward Norton. And they're both playing together, and they need to make a quick buck. So where do they go? They go to the state police officer game in Binghamton. Oh my God! I almost fell off the couch. I'd seen the movie before, but I totally forgot that there's a pivotal scene where, spoiler alert, they get the shit kicked out of them in a parking lot. And I was like, wow.
Welcome to Binghamton.
That seems like Binghamton. I feel like if you get caught cheating at a poker game in Binghamton, you might you might leave with a few less dollars and a few less teeth.
Yeah.
So that's my Upstate update. Go watch Rounders. Great little flick. Not shot in Binghamton though. They used shot in Jersey. I was a little disappointed.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah. It's all right.
Speaking of Binghamton,
you beat me to it.
I got you.
You got me. Like we were saying up top, we got a great conversation today with rapper activist Theodore from Binghamton. Pretty excited to get to talk with him today.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So let's get right to it, shall we?
Let's do it.
So, folks, we are very excited here at Understanding Upstate, podcast dedicated to all things Upstate in the 607, to have a very dope MC, activist, and just a 607 native that we're really pumped to chop it up with, man. So we got Theodore in the building. Theodore, how you doing, brother? How's it going, man?
Jim, what's good, fam? Oh, man, I'm blessed to be here, bro. Thank you for the invitation, first and foremost. You know, ain't nothing better to do than chat about Upstate, you know? So,
listen, you know, if it's one thing that I'm willing to talk about, it's Upstate New York. And Upstate New York and 90s hip hop. If you don't want me to shut up, those are the two things that I will not stop talking about. So, you know what I mean? So to tell our listeners a little bit about just because you have your hand in so many different things, and I think you know, it's really dope that you've really done some like real multi-hyphenate sort of work. But you know, talk to us a little bit about your career in music. Talk about how you got started, what inspired you to get into music. Take us back to those days.
oh, man, if we're talking about the roots, to be honest, music is probably one of my earliest memories. My father was a blues musician, right? So I just came into this world surrounded by music. And I used to be stuck in 10-hour studio sessions, and I would be pissed. I would be tight. You know, like I wanted to go out and do things that a child would do. And it wasn't until I grew up and I realized how important and how much that had helped to shape and mold my own understanding of music and what I was doing with songwriting and working to create a sound, not just how I see it in today's world with music, where it's more like just making something for the moment, right?
Right.
And that just makes popular music oversaturated for one, but it also leads to a lack of what I consider like classic records or timeless records. And that's probably what pushes me and has pushed me to evolve through my journey. You know, I started writing when I was super young. I just was write poetry and then try to put it over whatever my favorite song at the time was. Like I'd rap over the radio if I could. And
Right.
in seventh grade, I recorded my first song. And then from there, once I got into high school, I joined a rap group. And, you know, it was like the MySpace
Right.
days. We did like a few little rap battles and shit like that. But it didn't go anywhere. It was a hobby at that time. And for everybody else, it was a hobby. For me, it was gaining the experience that I needed to just learn and understand, you know, because I look at myself as a late bloomer very much. Like I wasn't supposed to be that person that had the ability to do what my vision is at a younger age,
Right.
just because of evolution.
So when you say late bloomer, tell me a little bit more about that. Like you feel like you should have had your feet earlier in the game, or because I'm curious about that.
So in the sense of like, people have always told me I'm an old soul.
Okay.
And with that, it's like I feel that I'm ahead of my time in certain ways, right? Like I'll see things before they happen, so to speak, or like I'll see a trend start before it pops, so to speak. Like I have an eye for those things. And
Right.
in that sense, like when I was younger, I had a vision that is now beginning to manifest itself.
Got it. Okay. Now I see what you're saying.
So like
Yep.
in the sense of feeling like when I look at it, it's like I call it a late bloomer, but it's right on time, right? Because I wasn't supposed to do it earlier. I wouldn't have had the prerequisite wasn't met yet. I would have crashed out
Sure.
had I been given those opportunities to do what my vision entails at a younger age. I just didn't have the tools at my disposal yet. So that's why I say
Now,
late bloomer, but it's really right on time, you know?
I know it, as you explain it, I know exactly what you're talking about as far as like, because in the comedy world, it's like there's a saying, Chris Rock would say it, is that like you can never blow up too late, but you can blow up too early.
Word.
In that if you get opportunities that you're not ready for, that can't be good. But if you got 15 years in the game and something happens and you get that pop, now you're ready, right?
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
I hear exactly where you're going with that. Now, just out of curiosity's sake, what was the name of the rap group when you were in high school? I'm always curious about that.
So it's hard to say this because I'm from the South Side, and
Okay.
it was like it was my rival because I was the only person from the South Side rapping. So it's kind of like I went and grouped up with my rivals because they were from the West Side, and the group's name was the West Side Boys. And yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to my guy Bubino and Gully, and Newbie and Bungees and Skins and everybody. Yeah. It was a little diverse clique that formed. Yeah.
One half of this co-host outfit is from the West Side of Binghamton, so.
So I live on the West Side now. So if you would have told me when I was, in high school or growing up in my early 20s that I'd live on the West Side, I'd been like, fuck that, But no, I love it. I love the West Side now.
Oh, that's great, man. Yeah, you're on a good side of town. Every time I come back to town, I always make sure I pop up on the West Side just to remind myself of where I'm at and how far I've come, and that no matter where you go, you always got to come back, man. You always got to remember where you're from.
Yeah, for real.
So that's dope, man. Well, welcome to the West Side.
For sure. For sure. Definitely
Honored
gives
to
off
have you,
Rod
Chris.
Serling energy over here for sure.
There you go.
Listen, yeah, I was talking about this a little bit earlier on our show, but I was on the train today. I was with a colleague of mine, and we were just talking. She just started working with me, and we were just talking about like where she grew up and that sort of thing. And she said she went to college at Antioch, and I said, "You went to college at Antioch?" She said, "Yeah." And I said, "You know who went there?" She said, "Rod Serling." And I said, "You are absolutely right. That is where Rod Serling went to college." And so
That's
if you
dope.
want me to talk forever, lady, let's talk about Rod fucking Serling, because we got it going. So it's the universe conspired. Rod Serling brought this podcast together.
There you go.
Fire.
You know what I mean?
Fire. Shout out to the OG himself.
Shout out to the God, Rod the God, man.
Word.
Rod walks so we could say weird shit, man.
Yo, the more I learn about him, the more inspired I am by him. It's funny. My mom was a big Twilight Zone fan when I was growing up. And for me,
Right.
I wasn't into anything science fiction. Like I didn't like sci-fi at all. I liked fact. I've always been big on facts. And I didn't realize what science fiction was doing in certain aspects, to bring things that are factual into like just imagination, so to speak, right? So it didn't resonate with me until I got a little bit older. And then I remember seeing a few episodes of Black Mirror when it first came out. And then learned about the creator's love for Twilight Zone and things that had to do with Rod Serling. And then once Jordan Peele started to do some of his films, and then I heard him talk about Rod Serling, and it just kept coming up. And I had never really like dove in and learned anything about him. So I started to do more research and learned about like what some of his mission was with creating the Twilight Zone and how he had gotten blackballed and was told, that this is too racy to try to put on TV and you don't want to ruffle feathers. So he had to make people read between the lines, so to speak, which
there you go.
I was going to say, you're setting me up for a segue. Speaking of read between the lines, you have an album called Read Between the Lines. Talk to us a little bit about that process and how that came to be in your thought process going into that.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, I'd taken off like a little break from releasing music, and this was like the reemergence, so to speak, and it was an experimental project. It was me using my voice in a different way than I had previously used it. Instead of just rapping like hard bars and, a whole bunch of tough bravado and machismo and, hustle, just talking shit. I wanted to be more artistic. I wanted to actually bring my vision to life and know it's something that I always work to say, but was just expanding on creating that sound. So Read Between the Lines was just the adoption of my own self-realization into my music. And so for me to speak about how that had developed, so, it opens up with like the Third Eye Exam intro.
Right.
And then I go on to talk about Visions Manifest. And just what that is for me in terms of self-realization and self-awareness, and what that process entails to me. So really this next project is like the follow-up from that I'm working on now, and it's called Heal. And how I explain it now that this second project is coming forth, and I don't want to go too far because there's a whole theme behind it, and I want that to be discovered by the listener. So I don't want to.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to take that away from them. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
I haven't seen Sinners yet, but every time that I see like the breakdown of it, I like have to
Oh,
look
man.
away. I just been super busy.
I'm right there
And
with you.
out here, it's like, yeah, they're just super weird movie times. We just have like Lowe's and the one over by Broome, Regal.
Right.
And so I was out of town over the weekend. I would have went, but I'm gonna get there this week though, because I keep seeing these spoilers and it's just frustrating. So that's the same way I feel like if I tell somebody what my music is about, it's almost like I would rather you listen to it and develop your own perspective on it, because I guarantee that whatever you think about it is going to be what is a part of what I'm creating, right? And so rather than me to try to like give you the blueprint and say, this is what it is, I want you to listen to it and develop that on your own. So,
which, I think as with any good work of art, right, is that like everyone's going to walk away from it with a different interpretation, right? Or someone's going to watch it, or in this case, listen to it. They'll pull a gem out and be like, oh, that's what that meant to me. Man,
yeah,
you are a thoughtful motherfucker, man. I really am glad we got you in here, dude.
Yo, thank you, fam. I appreciate that. From
Now,
the conversations,
listen, go ahead. Sorry.
No, from the conversations that we've had, just a few times we chopped it up. Like if you were chatting with Dev or something like that, I'd be like, yo, I gotta link up with this guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad we got to do it for sure.
Oh, shout out to Dev, man.
Yeah.
Great barber in the Binghamton area. I'm just plugging everybody.
Oh, wow.
Make sure if you.
I was actually over there. I was over there earlier. I haven't seen him in a little while, so I just popped up, and he was working on some music as well. And somebody that was over there was like, "Oh yeah, I got this interview that I'm getting ready to do for a podcast." And I was just like, "Oh yo, bro, I'm gonna be with Jim Search tonight." And Dev turned around. He's like, "He's in town. He hit me." I'm like, "No, we're doing it over Zoom." I'm like, "We're doing it over Zoom." He's like, "Oh, all right, bet." He's like, "I gotta hit him up, because he got his dynamic going on with life right now."
Sure,
so,
yeah.
For sure, but it was hilarious because he turned around. He's like, "He's in town. He hit me up yet?" I was just like, "Nah, my bad."
I gotta check in with you, Dev, before I come to Binghamton. Is how it's. I gotta check in. I gotta check in on the south side of Binghamton when
he's the Greek mafia,
right? Rob will have to bring you by Dev's barbershop.
It sounds like it, man.
Experience.
Go before, I want to look my best before I go get Speedies. I gotta get a fresh cut. Absolutely.
Yeah. Brought to you by Speedies and Dev's Barbershop.
Speedies and Dev's Barbershop.
And you just put a little commercial segue right in there.
There we go. Perfect.
That's right. Have you not looked your best and been hungry? Come through Speedies and Devin Speedies Barbershop.
Someone needs to come up with that ad, because I am always not looking my best and am always hungry. I'll buy whatever they're selling.
Well, say less, man. It's coming soon.
There you go.
So, yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about the social justice initiatives that you've been part of in Binghamton. What inspired you to do that, and what brought that about?
Oh man, I think just life be lifing, and
right.
I think I've always had it in me where I was one of those people that like I would fight the bully.
Right.
I'm a big guy, so like parents used to love me with their kids back in the day. Like if I was your kid's friend, like yo, like the parents were just like, "Oh, you're like their bodyguard pretty much."
Right.
And
right.
So it like gave me this sense of responsibility at a young age, and also I guess maybe a life and like family dynamic that I had going on that gave me that like maturity to see that like there was something wrong with things that I was being told as a child by the adults, and I'm just like, nah, that shit just doesn't make sense. Like,
Right.
you know, so by the time I came of age, it was just evident that it was like, wow, like this isn't what I was told just a few years ago, coming into the real world, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to get in the community. I always say I work to be the change that I want to see. So I started working with different community agencies, like Catholic Charities, the Urban League, Wyoming Conference, and kind of skipped around just to try to get a feel for what it was.
Right.
But was just overwhelmed by that feeling of misrepresentation that happens and the bureaucracy of like policy and procedure, and how the people that make the decisions really don't have a solution, but they also have no experience in what the problem is.
Right.
So it's like so many things that pushed me to say like I have to figure out a way to do it without going in and being that thing that is really just keeping the wheel moving. You know what I mean? I don't want to cause harm, and I'm not gonna. People would always tell me like, "Oh, you should run for mayor, or you should run for this officer." I had a friend who was going to school and had come back from a Fulbright scholarship in Malaysia, and she was like, first you're going to run for school board, and then you'll do city council, and then after that you're going to do mayor. And I literally looked at her. It was like one of the first conversations I had with her since she got back in the country, and I was just like, yo, you're bugging. Like, what were you doing over there? You know what I mean? Because I'm not, that's not in my wheelhouse at all. And that's not, I tell people all the time, I've had people that are in the political spectrum and that serve in office come and tell me that I should do something. And I explain to them why I'm not, and like the unwillingness to be a part of that. Because I'm not going to be tokenized or co-opted by that system that just wants me to like pretend that everything is okay and get real comfy. So I'd much rather do the work in the community. And if I can have conversations with those people who are in office and hold them accountable and say, hey, look, like this is what it looks like from the outside looking in. And if you don't want so much scrutiny, and if you don't want people to say what they're saying about you, then this is what you should do. Or if you're just worried about reelection, then you're probably not going to go far, because people are overwhelmed by your behavior right now. So I work to communicate with balance. I've stood out there and protested and screamed and yelled at the police and went into the city hall meetings or school board meetings and mayoral city addresses and whatever that it might be that I could do to like at least work to be heard or like say something and learn something too, because it's not just about saying something, but it's just the realization that they don't care, that they're not going to listen, and that it's going to fall upon deaf ears. So it's our job to do it. If there's something that we see that we like and we're like, oh, this needs to be happening or this needs to be an initiative, then it can be community led. We don't need to focus on powers that be or the ruling class. I think.
Yeah, well, I think you really, as far as how I see what community activism looks like, is that we protect us, right? A community will ultimately serve itself, because you can't rely on the politicians that are in office because they're funded by someone else. So you have to do that on the ground. And I'm really, I knew that you had been involved in the community, and it's really dope to hear that you have that approach, because I think, like I said, it's gotta come from the community itself. It can't come from the top down.
I only learn what I learned from the community, like from others, from people that are doing the work and that have showed me or that like hold me accountable and say, yo, like you fucking up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my goal is to be accountable, and to be able to like be responsible. Like I think that's responsibility is responding where we're able, right? So
I like
if
that.
I don't have the ability to respond, then I'm going to react, and my reaction may not represent what the truth is. And so I see that a lot of people are reactionary because they don't have the ability to respond appropriately. And when we hold ourselves accountable and we listen, we learn. You know, like one of my elders, the wisdom that they shared with me years ago was, we have two ears and one mouth, so we should listen twice as much as we speak.
That
And
is a fact. And that,
yeah,
you know, that is, you learn a lot more. You learn a lot more when you're not talking. If you're talking on this podcast, that's fine. Obviously.
No, I'll continue not to say anything. It's a good policy.
No, Rob, you are just as much
he's
part
the
of this
genius.
conversation.
Rob
so.
is the genius over there. It's the quiet one in the room. It's always the smart one. Look, and he's doing everything.
I'll let you say that.
He knows everything about the technology. He's like, yeah, it's your fault, Jim.
Yeah.
You don't know about technology. You're not as smart as I am, but I'll be quiet.
We're just gonna. I'm gonna edit all this out. This is too much goodwill headed my way. We can't have this
Rob
get out to the people.
Rob is a straw that stirs the drink here. That is for sure. I'll go so far as to say that.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Every single time, man. Well, listen, we were talking a little bit about just like community spaces and community as well. And I've, because I followed you on social media quite a bit, and I've seen your name pop up quite a bit over at Stellar Human as far as doing shows and in the show scene. And I've noticed that Stellar Human has been a real outpost. Shout out to LaRue as well. But I wanted to 100%. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what like the music scene is as far as shows happening and what that's like, because as I've been following it, I've been noticing that there's been a lot of them happening as of late, and I think that's very dope. And I'm noticing that you're a part of that scene quite a bit. So talk to us a little bit about what that scene looks like and how that came to be.
Oh man. Yeah, so like you said about Stellar and LaRue, man, shout out to him and everything that he's doing in the community to be able to provide a community space that's like a safe space for people that are, able to come together. Back in 2021, when I released Read Between the Lines, he had been doing an Artist of the Month, and I remember I was over there as I was like putting my songs in through distribution and like all the emails I was sending out and doing everything. I was just over there lounging because the space was just so dope. And I'd be over there on Wi-Fi, just be on my laptop, like running stuff and like just chatting with them. And I met a lot of dope people. Like anytime that I went to Stellar, even in the new space since he's gotten downtown, like but specifically, like I remember he was doing the Artist of the Month, and it was June, and I was loading up, and he was like, "Yo, would you want to be the Artist of the Month for July?" And I was like, I was blown away because I'm like, damn, like I didn't think about it in that sense of like he was having people who were doing painting and different type of art come in and put their art up. And so when he asked me, I'm just like, damn, bro, like how will we do that? You know what I mean? Like I don't really have merch and shit like that. And he's like, nah, we could do some shows. He's like, you could do a show like every week or some shit like that. And the light bulb just went off. I'm like, that, that's kind of how we can do like the album rollout, so to speak. And that'll give me a chance. Because at that point in time, like I really hadn't been performing too often. I was very like in that introversion mode, like through the pandemic and like about a year prior to the pandemic, like 2019 and 2020, I was like kind of locked in. And so by the time when I was releasing the album, I just felt confident about that time and space and what the music was that I had. And it was an amazing moment to be able to see what a part of my vision is like uh, bridging gaps and seeing collaboration and seeing people come together that wouldn't normally be in the same space,
Right.
and see them come into the same space and be able to work together and realize the commonalities that they have, like start to build off that. And anytime that I'd go into Stellar, that's like what it was. Even before he had asked me to do the Artist of the Month, so
Right.
then I already had that perception in my mind that like that if we do this, and we promote it and we bring some people out, we're just gonna have this crazy mixture. And like every week of July 2021, that's what it was. Like we just
Wow,
did a
that's
show
dope.
every weekend. I think I think there was like 5 weekends in that month, so I think we did 5 shows.
Nice.
And then after that, there's an artist. Shout out to her, Cassie Gibson, and she was getting ready to travel to Atlanta to do some music and just kind of like relocate and push, not just for her own music, but like to even showcase what she had done and the artists that were in this area. Which
Right.
shout out to her. She had started an open mic at the garage.
I did that. I did that, Mike.
Yeah.
When I was getting ready for my album.
Is that the Taco
I
Garage? Am I?
That is the
Yeah.
Taco
I
Garage.
remember seeing the sticker. We talked, or
Yeah.
you talked about it in the documentary, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a disclaimer, though. Just a quick disclaimer. It is not. There is no. Unfortunately, there's no open mic at the Taco Garage anymore. It's now at the Crowbar Arcade because the Taco Garage was bought out by an entity that I'm not going to get into, like the this, that's, and the thirds. But
Yeah.
I'll just say that they're the type of person that you would not want to associate yourself with. So,
Understand
unfortunately, and it really, the Taco Garage had a really great reputation as being a place of a community space. So,
for sure.
not a lot of people know about that it got bought out. So, kind of sucks.
Well, I'm glad though at the same time that the mic was able to find another space, like the Crowbar is I was in there like cuz I was in Binghamton I think last year maybe, and I was just kind of walking around and I found the Crowbar, and it's like the video game place, right? There's a bunch of video games in there. Yeah. So I'm glad the mic found a home. I'm also going to be, because there's going to be a show there on the 31st in Binghamton, right?
Yeah.
Blizz and them are going to be there.
Blizz. That's gonna be a fire show. Yeah.
I'll be at that show.
Oh, bet, bro. So that I'll be able to give you a hug then. Dap and a hug. You know what I'm saying?
100%, man. What up, man? Well, I got a show the night before over at Cafe Luga House. This is the plug session of the show.
Where's Cafe Luga House?
It's 81 Clinton Street. It's Walter Palooza. It's me. Winna Skells is going to be on the show, and Walt is going to be doing some stand up. So
I think Skells did Skells post something about that?
He did. Yeah. I posted about it. Skells posted about it too.
But that was a while ago. You posted about that a while ago, wasn't that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been posting it. So
I haven't been like, I post on social media more than I interact, unfortunately, not for any other reason, just because of certain things I've had going on. I try to at least communicate what I have going on, but I'm not like scrolling down the timeline as much. Like, and I feel bad about it because I know that somebody hit me up and they said, "Yo, why don't you ever share my shit, bro? I'll be sharing your shit every time you post something, I share it, and then you never return the favor." And I was like, "Yo, my bad, bro. Like, I've been super busy." You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Well, you be sharing other people's shit." And I was like, "I just didn't see your shit pop up, bro. Like, I had like,
see,
and then
you
I
haven't even had time to see Sinners yet. How you can't be reposting?"
I gotta see Sinners before I repost your shit, man.
Word up, man. Let me go get through these fucking. Let me get past all of these bad movie reviews so I can go and see it before I gotta
There
fucking,
you go.
you know.
Well, I will say though, man, like it shouldn't be transactional, right? Like organic reposts, I feel like are the way to go. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I see some. I
Some
share
people
it
treat
out.
social media like it's, the word social intertwined into it makes people think that it's a part of society as if it's
Oh,
reality. And it's like, it's not. It's just a platform where you can post things on, and you should disengage with it as much as possible.
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
It's augmented reality, and to think that if not, look, if someone's not reposting you, go outside, take a walk, go to the park, get a glass of
If
water.
someone's
Do
not reposting you, go wear a funny outfit. Like you said, wear that funny outfit to the park. And nowadays, you'll have 1,000 reposts by the time you get home of people that are like, look at this
Exactly.
There you
strange
go.
person that just walked down the street. So if you're really that bent for attention, figure out what your niche is and go run with it, and people are gonna follow you.
And you'll have all the likes and reshares that you need. You'll get your dopamine fix
There you go.
as you need it. I did want to because jumping back into your music is
Yeah.
I was saying before I've checked out some of the music videos and I really dig the artistic the texture to them, right? Like Come With Me, great video. That was who shot that?
That was Zane. That was
I had a feeling it was Zane.
yeah, yep.
Because great fucking video. Got you on the 4-wheeler.
Yeah.
Doesn't get more Binghamton than that.
Real
Like,
boondock, country bumpkin vibes. Had to keep it as a southern tier of the Appalachians as possible.
Mm-hmm.
No, man.
Strong representation there.
The way that video came together was beautiful. Really, because it was like I pulled I pulled up the Devs one day and Zane was in town, and Dev had been playing him some songs from the album, and he was like, "Yo, I really want to do a video for one of these songs." So we talked about it for a little bit, and Antoine Hall, also Mayday, hopped in and helped out with the video too. So it was him and Zane, and they kind of put the idea of what they wanted to do for the treatment. Like I just put it in their hands, and
Right.
it came together off of pure essence, so to speak. It was like when I say that there was no budget to that video, and it was literally just like made off of the ideas of like, okay, we're gonna go capture these shots in these places, and you know, the song is not about a material. Like when I'm saying "come with me," I'm not talking about a physical location, right? Like I'm not saying "come with me to Toronto" or "let's go to Tokyo," right? I'm talking about an immersive experience that you have to go inward. So it wasn't about like capturing visuals or trying to uh like act anything out. It was just more about capturing the feel of the song. And
Right.
I think that like we did that in a great way. And Zane brought it to life. Amazing. We used the green screen and like did some flying,
I saw that.
some
Really cool
little
shit, man.
yeah, just to bring a cosmic feel into it. In the second verse, I talk about the idea of like I, I say in the second verse, and you will not understand until you love yourself again. How could you hate another man? Now I know you don't hear me, fam. It's clear and then so much more. How you gonna be rich if you poor? And I go on to explain like, these people that talk about interstellar travel, like the Elon Musk type that say, oh, we're going to go and terraform Mars. Uh, it's just like this idiocracy, really, is what it is,
Right.
because we have this whole planet here that we don't even understand fully. And if we paid more attention to what's going on here, then eventually we'll get wherever we need to go. But
Mhm.
there's enough issues happening here that we need to focus on. Like if we can terraform Mars, then we can fix the Earth's issues. So I just think that it's idiocracy to say that we would have to like jump to another planet for any cataclysmic event that's not happening anytime soon.
Right. I mean, yeah,
So
start here first, right?
yeah,
And not for
for
nothing,
sure.
but I have traveled many planets in Binghamton in my life. I have done
Yo,
so.
if you wanna,
I've
yeah,
I've I've met people from other planets in Binghamton, New York, without a
I'm telling you,
doubt.
if you really want to see the Twilight Zone,
There
I've
you
It's
go.
traveled around the country. I haven't really done too much like global travel, but in this country, I haven't been to anywhere else like Binghamton, where there's like a population of 46,000 people when there's not students here, and you can just see what you can see on a daily basis. It's like 10% of this town is like turned up.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I,
mean,
I, 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 I I use that word to avoid cancellation.
well, we won't let that happen here at Understanding Upstate. You will not be canceled here, sir. It well, it's funny because like you Binghamton is such a unique place, and I feel like with artists such as yourself and kind of like visionaries like LaRue have really brought this like level, and maybe it's, I don't know if it's just me, but like there's this level of Binghamton pride that you didn't really see it like 15 years ago. Like there wasn't this, and I didn't see it, at least as far as people being outwardly proud of it, right? Like it was just like we would
Yeah,
just talk shit about it. We'd be like, "Oh, fuck Binghamton," or this, that, and the third. And I just feel like it's folks like you that are really pushing that forward and giving other people inspiration to be like, yeah, you know what? Actually, I am proud of where I'm from. I am proud of upstate New York. There is a lot that we have to offer. So
yeah.
I
I
think
mean, we've
that's
got like a super rich history that just gets whitewashed, so we don't really get to learn about it. We don't get to learn about that diversity that exists, that brings what we would call, or what we look at as cool. You know,
right.
like no disrespect to any white folks, because I love all my white folks. I love all my caucasity, all the caucasity in the world. But I think that when we talk about like culture, or when we talk about music and art and those things that are really valued by society in the sense of like bringing joy forth and making the party fun and making the food taste good, like that's not something that white folks have embraced, right? That's something that is naturally in the melanin, uh and
Agreed.
unfortunately there's just been so much of the erasure of history that people don't realize where that sauce comes from, like where that feeling comes from.
Mm.
When we talk about music, when we talk about art, when we talk about all of these things, the cradle of that, like the hands that it comes from, like where the first songs would have come from, right? As a musician, I think about things like that. As an artist or a songwriter, I think about the oral traditions that people used to pass historical stories along, thousands and thousands of years ago, and how that it were in tonal formats or in song formats.
Right.
And so, you know,
Well,
to me, I don't try to cut off the midway or the things that have happened in between that are important or that, people should have credit for. But I also know that there's so much that's been erased that I like to go back to that root and say, well, like, let's look at this and let's look at what was drawn from at that point that we have still in existence today. And that's where you can see the connectivity and at least see uh, the shared root to say, yo, like we all come from this.
And I think that's why you're going to love Sinners. You're going to dig that movie quite a bit, given what you just talked about.
This episode also brought to you by the movie Sinners. In addition to
brought to you by Ryan Coogler Incorporated, folks. If you do you love culture and hope that no one steals it, come on down to Sinners, because I think you're gonna dig that movie. Well, listen, Theodore, it's been great chopping it up with you, man. I want to thank you so much for hanging with us. Is there anything that you want to promote or let all these Speedy Freaks and Rattlesnake Pete's know about before we get up out of here?
Oh man, just if you're rocking with us out here in the 607, the great 60 Lucky, keep on showing love and showing support and realizing that what's happening here is something that's unique. It doesn't happen everywhere. And like you were talking about earlier, shout out to Blizz, who he's fundamental in what's happening right now. Huge. As far as these shows that are happening and the energy that's being built up and bringing artists together, and like the No Names, LaRue, there's so many artists I could go on for days, but really with what's happening right now, I want people to come and be a part of it. Anybody who's skeptical or who doesn't think that it's real, like come and see it for yourself and come and join in and realize that, this has the potential to be that thing that can expand outward and grow outward and show the whole region that Binghamton has something to offer, and we can't do it separately. I see a lot of people that are just so egotistical that they think that they're going to do it on their own and don't realize that if you have a conglomerate, like if you have a bigger base to do it from, it makes it that much easier. So if one of us make it through, then all of us make it through, right? At the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And so that's just what I'm so happy to see. And when I know what my vision is for community and wanting to have these conversations of how to support a global initiative through local implementation, then I think that, it's just coming together beautifully. So I appreciate this conversation and the opportunity just to come and chop it up with y'all.
Facts, man. Well, listen, thank you so much. And folks, go listen to Theodore's music, man. Go run up all his videos. Go download everything. This guy's such a talent, and you really got your own lane. And we appreciate you coming through here, man.
Yeah, thanks, Theodore.
Thank you, fam. Hey, yo, June 24th, Heal. So stay tuned, and we'll have another conversation soon after I drop that.
Yes, anytime you want to come back, man, we'd love to have you. Man, what a great fucking interview, Rob.
Yeah.
That was awesome. He's such a thoughtful, introspective dude, man, and I'm really glad we got a chance to chop it up with him and talk about his music, talk about his activism, honorary West Sider. Excited to have him on the West Side.
Sure.
Theodore, we are honored to have you there. So like we said at the end of that interview, please go and listen to all of his music. Go run up his videos. They're really, really well done. And I think it's such a tribute to the 60 Lucky to have him share his gifts with the world. So go do
and we'll throw a link for his link tree in the description. It's got all of his music, like albums, music videos, and social media there. So you just got one link to click to get at all of that stuff. And yeah, keep an eye out for his album coming out in a little bit. It sounds like a cool project.
Yeah, 100%. You're gonna dig it.
Hey, speaking of 100%, that's the number of Speedy Freaks and Rattlesnake Pete's who should have subscribed, rated, and reviewed the show. Also, shared an episode with a friend. if you are not in that 100%, then our reporting is wrong, for one. That's a separate issue. You should also just go do that. Again, throw us a positive review, give us 5-star rating. And again, suggest something from upstate New York, a person, place, thing. Your favorite barbershop upstate.
Hey, run that up, man.
Let us know.
Run up Dev's barbershop.
Let us know. Jim, speaking of letting people know, is there anything you want to let people know about that they should look into in the next week?
Man. All right. Well, check this out. Let's say you're on your way to seeing the movie Sinners.
God damn it, Jim. Again, you steal it right from under me.
Can't let me go first, man. You're on your way to see Sinners. You've dodged so many spoilers online, and you watch it, and boy, are you traumatized, because wow, there's a lot of gratuitous violence, but done expertly well, and but you come out of it a little shaken, right? You're like, wow, there's so much violence. I need a palate cleanse. Well, you're in the parking lot of the Regal Theater in Binghamton, New York, right outside Broome Community College, and you watch the film, and now you're like, how do I cleanse this palate? Well, the way you do it is you go get my album, Upstate Understandings, which is available on all digital streaming platforms, as well as SiriusXM. You can catch it there on the Pure Comedy channel, but you can also go to jimsearch.bandcamp.com, buy every single last copy of that album. They are going to be for sale, and you're going to do it. And also pick up some merch. Got some really great T-shirts. It's summertime. Show those guns in my T-shirt. As far as shows and whatnot, jimsearchcomedy.com. I got all the show dates there. And fuck, man, we are 1 week away from Walter Palooza. Holy shit. We have almost half those tickets sold right now. The other half are going to fly very quickly this week. So make sure you get yours, because you don't want to miss out. I'm going to be doing some comedy. Winna Skells is going to be there. He's going to be doing some music. My man Walt Kronk is going to be making his comedy debut, all hosted by the incomparable Stephen Brown. The ticket link will be in the show notes. It's going to be a blast. So buy 500 tickets for all your friends. That's what you want to do. Rob, they bought tickets to the show, right? They bought tickets to the show. They bought T-shirts for their family. And they bought 3 copies of my album, but yet and still they still have money to spend. How can they spend that money? Tell me now.
Sure. Let's just say, look, you're hungry, and you got a big problem. You haven't had a haircut in 8 weeks, but there's no chance in hell you're stepping foot into that Speedy shop looking all raggedy. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab my album, New York Sticky. You're gonna throw it on, and it's such a sharp album. Hair is just going to be immediately immaculate. You don't even need to go to the barber shop. You can just go straight to the Speedy shop. This is a bad one, Jim. I don't know what. The analogy is, it's being generous to call it an analogy. Guys, just go get my album. It's available at brokenfrequency.bandcamp.com. It's a pretty good little instrumental album. I always say little. It's like a full hour long. Go check it out. It's a great listen. We also got a we got a great documentary that's available that, again, features a lot of Binghamton in it. It's behind the scenes look at the making of Jim's album. So guys, everything's in the description. Check all those things out. Speaking of the checking things out, what are we going to be checking out next week on the pod, Jim?
Oh man, it's going to be a Regal event. That's the best I can tell you, man. A true upstate Regal event.
And not the Regal movie theater that you just saw Sinners.
No. Oh, no. Very different. Very, very different. I'll say that for a fact.
There we go. Jim, should we close this episode out?
Yes. How are we going to do that?
God, usually it's with an up pun, but on these interviews, I come up a little bit short. So let's get on out of here. That one was right off the cuff, and let me tell you, I'm pretty proud of it.
Bye.